I want to share a story with a young CEO who's 1 year into the chair. I asked him this question. Tell me about any priority rooms that you're in right now that you're having some troubles in or that you perceive you're having some troubles in. And he said, yeah, I'm having troubles with my executive team meetings. I said, tell me more about that. He said, well, the meetings themselves seems to go well. A lot of good questions and, agreement, all of that stuff. I said, so why do you feel that you're not landing? He said, I don't know, there's something missing. I said, can you identify it? He says, not really. I said, why don't you tell me what happens after the meetings? He goes, oh, I know about that. He says, there are meetings between my executive team. They meet individually talking about what happened in the meeting. And I said, what's the consequence of that? Well, for some productivity wise, I don't know why all these 8 people are meeting without me in different rooms all over the office. I said, so big productivity drain. I said, what happens when they come back together? Well, people are arguing. They're talking about things that they talked about, but they didn't talk about it in the meeting. So if you think about what happens when you don't land in a room, the consequences sometimes don't even show up as hard dollars. They show up as, friction, incongruence, outcomes get delayed, decisions get delayed, all because something didn't happen in that room to land. Remember the 4 questions that we talked about in previous videos? They're asking subconsciously, are you safe to follow as a leader? Do you mean what you say? Does the reality match your words? And they're deciding to align, resist, wait, or leave. And in this case, they're deciding to resist and wait. And that's costing you real money. What I'd like you to think about as a leader, is that happening in your business right now? If it is, good to be aware of it and then make some decisions to be able to figure out if that's happening. And in our case, we'd say to you, listen, take the scorecard, the 5-minute scorecard. You can look in the first comment. It'll help you identify the rooms that you're in that are causing you challenges. And hopefully that'll illuminate for you and you can make some decisions on what to do next.